Who is this big boy? Who is this big boy? Big boy. Counterplay guides for characters. I might. I've been considering that for a little while. Abigail. He's not so slow as he looks. He's got okay forward walk speed. Okay back walk speed. Pretty good dash, actually. Back dash not so good. Really cool animation, though. Finger guns. Jump is okay. Kind of slow. Very short. Very, very short. Very short jump. It looks shorter because he's so big, but it's also short in general. What else about him? He doesn't really have any mobility-based... He's got a couple of mobility-based attacks. But, like, he's not really super... I don't know. It's hard to say. He doesn't have a way of, like, changing his jump arc or anything like that. This character's really weird because you look at him, you think he'd be like a... You think he'd be like a Zangief. But he's really more like a Vega, if that makes any sense. He's kind of like... He kind of rides his normal length a lot. Like, yeah, you can play him like a mix-up character, and he's pretty good like a mix-up character. But also, his normals go really, really far. And you don't really need to use his mix-ups that much. You can kind of just, like, play neutral, and he's okay. I'm pretty sure I've got all this guy's combos down, and I know how he works, so I can give, like, a fairly comprehensive guide on his stuff. Jab. Jab and jab. For both stand jab and crouch jab, they're basically identical. I think one of them goes significantly farther. I think crouch jab. They're like a ton of ranges where stand jab whiffs, but crouch jab hits. Both of them have TCs. They're both fucking slow. I think they're both like 7 frames or something like that, or like 6. They're like as slow as most medium or heavy normals. Let me get Abigail's frame data on the screen. He's very, very slow. This is slow boy right here. Stand jab is 5 and crouch jab is 6. So stand jab is barely faster and crouch jab goes farther. Okay, so that's the big difference between them. Both of them have TCs. If you're point blank, you can do jab jab or crouch jab, crouch jab. It actually works from a lot of ranges. It doesn't need to be point blank. But it cancels. And from either one, you can go into a super, for example, which is weirdly hard. Or you can go into a light Abigail punch, or I think EX Abigail punch also works. Pow. Super works at all ranges, but light Abigail punch will only work if you're quite close to the opponent. For example. EX works pretty well. EX will work from most ranges of light punch, but not all. But not all. Not all. I shouldn't even say most. This is worse than I thought. EX just has the same range as medium. Yeah, you can do Abigail punch into super. But if you can do a lot of ranges, you'll have to do super and no Abigail punch because it tends to fall out. But this just pushes the opponent out, which is kind of counterproductive, but kind of not. You can just do 4 jabs in a row, and it's a sequence most characters can't interrupt. If you just do a sequence of jabs, it pushes the opponent. There's really not much to say about that. If you're close, you can use it like a confirm, and he really doesn't have that many confirms, so that's not a bad string to go for. If you like up close and you're threatening the command grab, you can just do crouch jab instead and get something like that. I don't know, it's okay. Stand light kick, I think confirms into crouch light kick, right? Isn't that a thing? Or maybe that's countered only actually. No, yeah, that's a combo. And that's better, because it does more damage. And it also gives you more time to confirm. It's more seeable than light punch. But you have to be kind of closer to do it. Well, they both require you to be super close. But crouch light kick is only, I think, 4 frame normal? Or is it also 5? It's 4, yeah. So this is his fastest normal. 4 frame crouch light kick. And it's like his only 4 frame normal. Everything else is slow as shit. So you can link into it from stand jab, and also stand short. And stand short between those two is stronger. So you'll probably usually do stand short, although it doesn't matter that much. Stand jab is a little bit faster, I guess. Common little strings from Abigail, but those are like his confirms from light normals. Crouch short to low. He doesn't really have a combo off of it. It does cancel, so you can just cancel it straight away, and that's important. Most crouch light kicks do not cancel. But for this character, he can't link out of it. He's like one of the only characters in the game who can't link out of his crouch light kick. Like even into his fastest normal, which is also a crouch light kick, you can't get any sort of links going. And that's because he's a grappler. They didn't want to give a strong load to a grappler. They usually avoid that if you notice. Like you have to be either really close or the combos are really shitty. Like how Laura can't get like a knockdown off of her low short, or like how Zangief has to be literally inside the opponent's ass to get like a lariat combo. If you get a counter hit low short, it does combo. You can do like a counter hit low short into, I think another low short, or like a counter hit low short into a stand jab. I think is what you often see, and you can react to that counter hit, so that's like not too bad. Let's see here, but that's like his it's his fastest normal, so it's good for pressure resistance, and it's also if you want to mix the opponent up with a command grab, you can also mix that up between just raw low short into Abigail punch, and that's it's risky, but it's still a mix-up. All of his light normals go into light Abigail punch, so it's like the go-to ender. He doesn't have anything else that combos from lights except super and EX Abigail punch. Medium punch is his main combo normal, I suppose. It's plus like a lot, +7 or something like that. So you can link a back fierce afterwards. And that's quite a good link for damage. And then from the back fierce, you've got a couple options. You've got a bunch, actually. You can either go for a back fierce target combo, which is just back fierce fierce. And that is pretty good, because after the forward dash, if they quick stand, you're +3. So that's probably the best ender. Stand strong, back fierce fierce, dash in, and then you can go for either like command grab, and that's like a true meaty, so the opponent's got a back dash or jump. +7 on hit, +5 on block. Yeah, so it's a really good normal. You can also, instead of doing that, you can do a medium Abigail punch instead of the TC, and that's damage optimal. So that's like the one you'd use if you're trying to do a super combo, or if you're trying to just do as much damage as possible, if you want to just hurt the opponent. But usually I think the back fierce fierce is going to be better. What else? Stand strong on counter hit, combos into itself, which is kind of cool. Pretty dank. You can like use it as a poke that goes pretty far out, and then if you ever actually see it hit, even from like it's like his main punish. If you just have time for a single normal, he doesn't have all. This is like his fastest cancelable normal for the range it travels. Like fierce doesn't cancel, roundhouse doesn't cancel. I think crouch fierce doesn't. No, crouch fierce does cancel, but okay, you use that one as well. But like oftentimes, if you just want to snipe someone, if you just want to hit them and they're kind of far away, say medium punch is the button you use. But even from its max range, it'll combo into medium Abigail punch. I lied. Almost from its max range, it'll combo into medium Abigail punch. And then if you happen to get a counter hit on one, you can do another one, which is kind of dank. And like that works even from not point blank. You can just get that in footsies. You can do a stand medium punch and then see that it hits, and then just be like, oh hey, and just fuck them up. So it's pretty good in neutral. It's like a very low risk button. It goes pretty far. You can be annoying with it, badger the opponent. This is like what Abigail's about, is tapping them with long range buttons. Crouch medium punch is really far. It goes like further than like Kami stand medium kick, I think. And it does cancel, but from the ranges where it's from like max range, there's nothing you can really cancel into, because everything just whiffs. The only thing you can cancel into is like super. So like using it as a poke, you don't really get anything off of it except maybe a super. If the opponent's really far away, you can like pick up a super like that or something like that. I don't know, fuck. But usually you just badger with it. Usually you just be annoying, because this is like a safe normal. It goes pretty far out. If you're like kind of close, you can get a medium Abigail punch, but it is kind of picky about its range, so I would say usually don't cancel it. Let me see here. Does this do anything else? I can't think of anything. Stand medium kick. I literally never ever see anyone hit this normal. It's probably shitty. I don't have anything to say about it because I'd never see anyone use it, so I have no like suggestion on like what it does. It probably does something. I don't know what the hell that something is. It doesn't cancel. I'll tell you that. It does pretty good damage. It might be good as a counter poke. Crouch medium kick is actually a really good normal. It's a low. And not only is it a low, but like it goes pretty far, and it self-confirms. So like if you do it, it's got kind of a long cancel window. So you can kind of poke out with it, and then see that you hit, and then decide to cancel into Abigail punch. Like it's kind of reactable. I'm going to try and show it off right now, but I've not really practiced this, so I don't know. Ah, shit, I still canceled. Well, give me a little bit to warm up. I'm not used to this. Okay. Oh, shit. You have to always roll. I practiced this right before the Abigail Cup, and I was doing it pretty well in the Abigail Cup. You can like poke out with it. It's easier if you use EX, but you can like poke out with it and then react to it hitting and then cancel. And if it's blocked, you can just be like, oh, I don't want to cancel this time. I'm really bad at it. Whatever. I'm not even gonna try. But it works, I promise. Okay, and you can do that with super as well. If you have like a super, you can like buffer the super and then see that it hits and then go for the super from there. Basically, you can use it to confirm stuff, which is nice. And that's like a pretty scary low on a grappler because, you know, having lows that you can confirm out of is powerful. That's like his apology for crouch light kick being shitty. But confirming out of it is kind of tight. You've got to practice it. What else? Stand hard punch. This is a pretty wacky normal. It goes really far. It's really good as a V-trigger starter. It's really good as a crush counter. Other than that, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't cancel. It goes pretty far and it does okay damage, so maybe it's good for some punishes, but usually you do sweep or something like that instead if you're getting a punish, because that goes like really far as well and does better damage and leaves you close, which you generally want. Let me see here. If you block like a DP or something like that, or even if you're just throwing it out because I think it's safe. If it gets a counter hit, it's a pretty beefy crush counter. It gets a crumple, and then from that crumple you can do like for example, walk in Crutch Fierce, and then from the Crutch Fierce you can get like a hard Abigail punch. That's a very common combo. I didn't walk in enough. You've actually got a lot of time. I think you can dash in. Yeah. So that's like your bread and butter combo. Something like that. Stand Fierce into dash in Crutch Fierce. It's very, very common. And there's a few things you could do from that. I think you can do... I don't know if you can do this. No, that didn't work. Yeah. I don't think you can convert this into EX very easily. Yeah, I can't even think what you'd do to get EX in this combo apart from that. I'm racking my brain right now. Whatever. It's really good as a V-trigger starter, though. You can kind of OS the trigger with it anyway, because it's a crush counter, and you can like do dead OSs. You can react, too. It's like kind of precise to react. But if you get the crush counter, you can get the world. You can. This is like one of the beefiest fucking crush counters in the game in terms of like damage output. I'm not gonna go crazy with it, but like you can do V-trigger and then get a second crumple. You can do crumple into crumple, and from that you just get a shit ton of damage. Oh yeah, EX Nitro Charge. That might be it. Let me see here. I take it a step though. Yeah, big dick damage. This is big dick damage to the character. I'm not super practiced at this. Shit. I'll give it a couple goes because it's worth seeing. What was that, Beth? I don't know the window. I did this so many times to the fucking Abigail. B&B. This works from like all ranges too, that's the beauty of it. I'm like walking to point blank, but you don't need to. There we go. Ugh! I thought that worked. I might have to be light. Cancel the Crutch Fierce into EX Rapid Punches. Yeah, that works, but EX Rapid Punches doesn't really do that much more than regular. Note the fact that that worked at max range. Yeah, the end part is like the easiest part actually. There's only one hard part of that combo. I know I was dropping it a lot, but there's literally only one part. This is really brainless. And this is really brainless. The only part that's hard is that. You've got a very precise charge there. Yeah, I don't know with start and end position. One more try. I'm feeling confident. Yeah, big dick damage! I missed the super. Whatever, that was 477 meterless. And 840 stun! So if you can land that, it's pretty much GG. Like literally, if you get a crush counter, stand fierce, and a V trigger, it's GG. You win the round. You win the round. Like you're not gonna lose the round after that, unless you drop that back fierce struggle, which you might. Because after that, like one command grab, like one anything, just dizzies the opponent. What else? Crouch fierce, I guess, cancels. It goes pretty far, and it's a cancelable attack. The combos are kind of picky. You can go into medium Abigail punch, which works, and that's probably generally your best option. If you're kind of close, you can get that attack, which does less than an Abigail punch. Or more specifically, you can't combo an EX from afar, but if you're close, you can combo an EX, and that's like actually really good damage. Because that sets up a combo. That sets up juggle potential. So for like an Abigail 1-bar combo, you do something like this. What is the combo actually? I think that's it. Yeah, there you go. 319 for 1-bar is like respectable, pretty good. So if you block like, I don't know, something unsafe, but not like horribly unsafe. If you block a sweep or like, I don't know, certain unsafe attacks, you can just tag them with that, and that just, you know, hurts them. Or maybe that's good after, if you got like a jumping combo, you do something like that, and that'll, you know, fuck them up. Pow. It's good. Strong combo. And that's like a pretty noticeable increase over his meterless combos. What was it? It was like 311, something like that. 319 versus like, that's the max damage meterless. It's 216. So you're getting like 100 damage for 1 bar. Well, that's not max. This is like max. So you're getting like 60 damage for a bar. So you know, it's worth. It's a worth. But that tends to fall out if you're not point blank. That's my warning. Like, it'll usually work, but like, if you're not too close, you'll miss the startup hits. But I think EX flip is safe, right? So it's not the end of the world. Let me look at my flip frame data. Giant flip. EX is -2. Not too bad. Let's see here. What else? Hard kick. This button is, it goes pretty far. It's a poke. I think it's got kind of bad recovery. Let me actually look at the recovery because I think it's punishable up close. It is -8. It does knock down, which is kind of cool, and also I think it has a crush counter, but it's also a knockdown crush counter, so it's not like super useful. You might be able to cancel it to like super, but it's you can't just fish for crush counter with this very well because it does. It's safe at like really far away. Like most characters can't really tag you with an 8-frame attack from that far away. But it's got kind of a lot of startup and a lot of recovery, so the fact that it knocks down, and the fact that it's technically safe are not like as good as you want them to be. I don't have a whole lot to say about that normal. It's not super good for combos, and it's not super good in neutral. Crotch hard kick, it's actually one of his better normals, believe it or not. It goes really far, and that's really important for some of his stuff. The really, really obvious thing, let me record the dummy to do like something here. I don't even know what recording slot 5 is. Alright, there. I had Ryu do a poke. Okay. His parry is like the key here. After a parry, you can be in a kind of weird situation, and crouch roundhouse will like always work after a parry. So it's not the best option there, but it's reliable. It'll get you a knockdown, it'll get you approach, and like it's easy. So it's okay there. It is a low, but only for the second hit. So either you do both hits, and the opponent can just easily react and always block low, or you space it so the first hit whiffs, which makes it a lot harder to react to, but also, you know, it's really unsafe on block, okay? This is a very unsafe attack. -14, and you can't like space it or anything. Well, maybe you can space it just a little bit. Not really. He goes so far forward. So it's good for picking up punishes and stuff, but a lot of Abigails try and gimmick with it, and like, yeah, a lot of people don't really block low from this far away, especially against Abigail. So you can maybe pick up a hit with it. I think it only cancels the V-trigger on the first hit too, which is also good after the parry. You can do like sweep into V-trigger and then combo from there. But you actually have less time than you would want there. Like, you can't really do that much. I think you can get like crouch roundhouse, crouch race, I mean. Yeah. But like, you can't get any charge stuff. You can get charge, stand, fierce, and it's very precise. And it's not, there aren't good follow-ups. But you can get that. It's like kind of hard to time. Crouch hard kick after conditioning neutral, because even though they block it, you have big dick health, so whatever. I guess. You do have big dick health as Abigail. He's like 1100. Let me see here. What else about crouch roundhouse? It crush counters on both hits. It only builds the normal amount of V-meter, despite being a 2-hit crush counter. What else about it? The hard knockdown is not super useful. Sorry if that was loud. I don't have that much to say about the crush counter. Command normals, I guess, right? He's got a lot. He's actually got a lot of command normals. I mentioned the 2 TCs. He's got another TC that's the back fierce. I didn't even talk. Okay, hold on. He's got like a bunch of fierce command normals, which is important because they're all used for his V-trigger. Towards fierce is like an upward hit, and this is probably the shittiest one. Technically speaking, it does not hit crouching opponents, which is kind of a bust, but it's pretty fast. On the ground, on grounded opponents, this is pretty shitty. one thing you can do with it that's kind of cool is you can anti-air with it. And if you anti-air with it, you actually have some pretty cool juggles. Let me see if I can get one. That was pretty bad. That's not even the best one. That's not even remotely the best one. I think that one's the best one. Yeah. That one's kind of cool looking. And it actually, you can actually super afterwards, which is really cool. The problem is this towards Fierce is, the hitbox is not as good as it looks. And also it's pretty fucking slow. So it's actually kind of hard to get those in a real match. The thing about Abigail is the opponent can hit buttons very early and still hit him because he's so tall. So like you have to anti-air sooner than most characters would. Most people delay their buttons so that it would actually hit an opponent like, you know, on the ground. But Abigail, they can just hit them as soon as they fucking want to, which means Abigail's actually kind of shitty at anti-airing. This is one of his better anti-air normals and it's still bad. But you can get some kind of cool juggles out of it, which I just thought was worth mentioning. You can super after that. I missed it. Oh, and I didn't... Well, I probably did. No, I didn't miss it. My motion looks perfect. I just had no meter. But that's literally all Towards Fierce is for. Technically speaking, there's a couple links into Towards Fierce out of V-Trigger. Like if I do stand that into Charge Towards Fierce, it works. Like I just did it. But every instance of that is outclassed. There's literally no reason to do that. You mentioned that Sim Hard Flame with meaty can be up to plus 34. No, I did not. Let me see here. Down Fierce is just down Fierce. Did I even talk about it? Yeah, it's far long range cancel. Back Fierce goes upward. It does hit crouching opponents, and it's pretty fast. It's like 7 frames. And then that's kind of important for his V-Trigger stuff. Like for example, I can do Stand Strong into Back Fierce, and then I can V-Trigger that. So it's like a confirm into his V-Trigger, I guess, which there aren't that many of. And then from there you can do something like you can do nothing because you suck at video games. Something like that, I guess. You can't get charged stuff from there, I don't think. I don't think. You might be able to get... I think you can get, like... Okay, I think you can get charged stuff in a very particular way. No, that's not it. Like that? No, that's too far away. I think there was something. It's a mystery. As a Kimmy player, I noticed that TC, Light Spiral, or EX Cannon Spike. Cannon Spike doesn't work because the Cannon Spike just whiffs. Abigail's big. Abigail's a big boy. He falls out of certain combos. Not that many, but a few. Let me see here. I'm really wrecking my brain on that one. I don't remember what it was. I don't know what your combos are. I think he has something there. No, I think I'm thinking of this. I think you can do like EX run into like Back Fierce. Or like something. There's like some place where you can get Back Fierce, which is stronger than anything else you can do. And it leaves you a kind of close Back Fierce, which lets you do EX flip combos. That wasn't it either. Maybe it's like a micro walk Back Fierce. Man, I don't fucking remember. Just go consult my Abigail guide that I wrote, because it's in there. I found it anyway. I'm fairly certain that that's like a perfect combo guide in terms of like useful combos he has. What normal am I on? Command normals. Back Fierce, Fierce has the TC. It's pretty much good for... It's good for a lot of his V-Trigger stuff, but I'll talk about that when I get to his V-Trigger. And then also it's good for... Okay, I've got it all, except for Abihammer. This one's really wacky. Okay, it's an overhead, so as you can expect, it's kind of shitty. The startup is okay. It's a little... Like, most people don't really treat Abigail like he has an overhead, and it does go really far. So it's not worthless. It's not, like, utter shit. But it's like -6, like every other overhead in the game. Or I think it's a little worse. I think it might be like -7, -8. I think it has unusually bad frame data. Abihammer is -8. Yeah. But there's a little twist to it. It's +3 on hit. But we're the slowest character in the game, so that's kind of hard to unlock. If you get a point-blank Abihammer, and you counter-hit with it, what do you know? You have links out of it. I guess that's technically possible if you meaty with it. Abihammer has 3 active frames. Yeah, so with a perfect meaty, you can also get a link into low short. I've never seen anyone do that, and I don't think I'll ever will see anyone do it. But it is kind of cool that that works. What do I even knock down with here? Do I even have a knockdown like long enough for that? I don't think so. Maybe like a crush kind of thing. Let me get Ryu to stop quick standing for a second. Yeah, meaty timing, baby. This is like 1 frame, so I'm probably not going to get it anytime soon. So I'll give up after a few attempts. That was pretty close. Oh, I got it. There you go. Eureka. He can link out of his overhead. That's not even like super, super out of the question. That's something that could happen in a real match. But it probably won't. So don't go for it. Again, that's like an overhead that's like minus 8 on block, so don't be an idiot. Granted, in that context, it's only minus 6 on block if you do it meaty like that. But you know, minus 6 point blank, not so good. It is an overhead, and people do tend to freak out when they're fighting grapplers, and they do dumb shit, so, you know, it's not worthless. So that's all his command normals out of the way. Air normals, his jump is shit. Jump jab is, I don't think it does anything. It might be good as an ATR, honestly. Jump short also might be good as an ATR. His ground ATRs are really shitty. So like being able to do jump ATRs is okay. If like the opponent jumps in on you and you do like jump back jab or something like that. But even his air normals are really slow, so it's not that good. He just has slow normals in general. Oh, I should have mentioned right now, but stand jab is an okay ATR. In fact, it's probably his best one. But you have to be kind of precise about timing it or else you'll trade or lose, and these are bad trades. But like something like that is not horrible. It looks like his hand goes all the way super high up, but it's actually, it's not as high as it looks. But stand jab is like a pretty good ATR. Towards fierce after an air to get a juggle. Yes. But towards fierce is slow and stand jab is not. Let me see here. What's next? Jump strong goes really, really far. You can use that to kind of hit the opponent from very far out. It's better than it sounds. Like you can jump over Hadokens from a lot of ranges and just tag them from like really far away with the jump strong. A lot of people don't really respect. Abigail's got very short range on his jumps. So a lot of people don't really expect Abigail to be able to jump over and then hit them from like really far away. But it also makes all his legs completely invincible. So it's like, okay. And then if you jump over and like land the jump strong, you can get like an EX Abigail punch as you land or something like that, I think. Yeah. It's kind of cool. It's not useless, but it's mostly just useful for its insane range. Jump Fierce does launch state on airborne opponents, I think, which is kind of cool. So you can get like juggles and stuff. Something like, does that work? That might work. Sort of worked. Kind of precise though. Not super applicable. Oh, I think you can do an Abigail punch there, can't you? Yeah, maybe not. I can't even think of anything that would work there then. Yeah, it's not worth the bar at all. Let me see here. Oh, there's some gimmicks with his like jump fierce into V trigger. And you can do that and then charge it back fierce from there, I think. More typically you'll just do an Abigail punch from there. If you happen to get like an errant jump fierce, you can just kind of tag them with like, you know, Abigail punch. Or even if you're kind of close, you can do towards fierce and Abigail punch. But no, is it crush fierce? No, I think it is towards fierce. That one's not really applicable. It's not really common. I think it's just medium Abigail punch. No, I think hard Abigail punch. But it's kind of picky even getting the combo here at all. So fucking good luck. It costs us a launch state, but it's kind of hard to even get a combo. Oh, I think you can do run. You can do run stuff. You can towards fierce run punch. I think that's the combo. He doesn't have a whole lot here. That like barely worked, and I timed it like almost as soon as you can do it. So not super useful. Not super applicable. I usually just see like Abigail punch there, and even then that's really picky. Yikes run. Alright. Yeah, that worked. That's a thing. I'm not even sure if that's worth a bar. It costs us launch state, but Abigail's so slow and jump fierce is so slow that you'll almost never even get the jump fierce, to be honest. Well, maybe you will, but not against anyone super good. Jump light kick does nothing to the best of my knowledge, except maybe it's a good anti-air. Oh look, I instant never headed with it. Jump medium kick is his cross up. It's pretty good. He doesn't jump very far, so even getting a cross up at all is kind of difficult. But you know, it is a cross up. He does have a cross up, so that's something. Having a cross up on a grappler is pretty strong because then you can land and, you know, go for mix ups, etc. Jump hard kick does big dick damage. I think jump hard punch does too, but jump hard punch is a lot harder to get on on a grounded opponent, whereas jump hard kick is really easy to get. I remember there was a big old fuss right when Abigail came out, because he could do stand fierce into jump hard kick and get a full combo from that, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, the damage!" But this is like not even close to optimal. This is literally a joke compared to the Abigail, like the damage Abigail can get. You've got like way stronger setups, but it's kind of cool. You can combo edge jump in from a crush counter. Let me see here. That's all his air normals. I don't think he has an air command normal or anything. Jump hard kick is probably the best one generally for jump in stuff. It's just, you know, the one you use when you want to hurt the opponent, put them in a lot of block stun, do some white damage. So that's all that. Red leaf. A fucking leaf. Abigail punch, giant flip, Abigail smash, nitro charge, and then all follow-ups. There's a lot of stuff here. Let's go through it. Abigail punch, it's a hit. The light one comes out really fast. The hard one goes upwards and does the most damage. The medium one goes the farthest but is the slowest. It's kind of weird to think about them all like that. Medium one is generally the combo one. Generally you want to get hard one for combos, but hard one falls out of a lot of combos. So it's good for like juggles and stuff, but it's not so good on the ground. The hard one is fast enough that it combos from jabs, but you have to be like absolutely point blank. And also, I think it can fuck up on crouching opponents. There you go, I got it work. I think certain crouching opponents can like ruin that. So generally you just want to use light one after light normals. So light one comes out the fastest and does the least damage. Medium one goes the farthest and does the works the best in combos. Hard one does the most damage and works the best at juggles. I should say light one works the best at juggles, but hard one is close. It depends, whichever one you can get. EX takes literally the best aspects of all of them. EX has the range of medium, the speed of light, and damage beyond hard. So if you can do EX, it's like the one that's the best. You can mash to get more hits. Unmashed Abigail punch, light just did 100. Mashed Abigail punch, you just have to mash any punch, it doesn't matter, and it's pretty easy. Mashed Abigail punch did 120. And that doesn't add any scaling or anything like that, so there's literally no reason you shouldn't mash it. You should always mash it every time. And then you can cancel the last hit to super for all of them. Wow, the speed of light. That's right. Abigail's EX is the speed of light. EX is his only reliable close anti-air apart from super. I didn't even know that. His anti-airs up close are so shit. That's like a trick when you're fighting Abigail's. Let's jump in on him from close. Yeah, look at that. Look at that armor. I forgot about that. Forgot about the armor. Forgot about EX having armor. Nice, consistent anti-air. I mean, technically super is a really good anti-air if you want to be that guy. Super is a great anti-air. It's fucking tall, and as soon as he supers, you could no longer cross him up. He like gets a fucking giant ass fucking push box all the way to the ceiling right over his head. And the hitbox is like follows it immediately, so it goes like right over his head. This is like a super good anti-air. Like even if the opponent looks like they're definitely right about to cross him up, it still like stops the cross up if you can get out in time. Oh yeah, it's a 6-frame super, pretty fast. And then also it's what is it? It's like minus like what is it? It's like minus like 100. It's minus like the whole world. Whatever your character's slowest punish is, they can still get it out in time to punish Abigail super. I guess I'll do that just to show it off. Abigail super on block. I'm gonna hold up. There you go. That's the earliest I recover. Takes an hour to recover. So like Alex can literally like V-trigger. Alex can like V-trigger and then fully charge a sledgehammer. Minus 95. Alex can V-trigger and then fully charge a sledgehammer and it's still a punish. Yeah. Sim can get I don't know if Sim can get a full charge super. But like don't confirm your supers. Okay. Don't do a raw super as Abigail unless it's a punish. Anyway, that's EX Abigail punch in a nutshell. Or that's Abigail punch in a nutshell. It's just a combo ender. It doesn't really have any fuzzy application, but it's really good in combos. and then it leads to super, which leads to big dick damage. It does really high stun too. It's worth mentioning. Giant flip. You got pretty radically different versions. One kind of annoying thing about them is that they only hit the ground for the... They're all safe. They're like all plus actually. I think that one's -2 or something, and that one's +1, and that one's +2. And then this one's... What was it? Also +2? Something like that. Or maybe that one was -2. I forget. They all have good frame data. Okay? They're all like safe. But the trick is the opponent can jump on reaction to them. Of all the flipping ones anyway. So even though it's safe, if the opponent holds up, like it's really hard to make it actually hit. They're really shitty at hitting grounded opponents. They also don't do great damage. Or I mean airborne opponents. Technically speaking, you can go into the light one in combos if you want to. But most people don't, because it's just weaker than Abigail Punch. 0 for light, +1 for medium, +2 for hard. EX is -2, that's right. What else about them? You can do the... I showed off the Towards Fierce Anti-Air into the hard one. They all cancel the super. So you can do, like, super cancel stuff with them, but again, Abigail Punch is stronger, so usually you'll just do Abigail Punch. But there's certain contexts where you can't do Abigail Punch, so you'll just do, you'll do that into super instead. That looks like it should fail, but it actually works. What else about it? The X one is the really notable one. Oh, just so we know, on launchers, what's his launcher? It's this. Towards Fierce into light, Abigail. I mean, if you don't have V-Trigger, Towards Fierce into light, Giant Flip is the highest damage ender. But maybe you want to do hard Abigail Punch instead because it does more stun, I think. So that was 310, 490. Okay. Wait, was that the whole thing? 310, 490. Okay, remember that number. Now look at this number. 319, 520. Never mind. Towards Fierce Giant Flip, Light Giant Flip is the best ender. Kind of picky to get though. You've got to let the opponent fall a little bit, or else the Light Flip loses a hit, which is, you know, makes it worse. Empty cancel into light when you can't for Abigail punches. Yeah. Let me see here. What else about it? The X one's really good for like 1-bar punish combos and stuff. Technically speaking, you can mash the X one, but it is just 100% gimmicky. Okay, there's like no actual application for this. It won't combo infinitely in the corner. It kind of looks like it is, but it's not, I promise. It'll combo like a few hits, and then it'll just stop. The damage is kind of shit. Every time this is blocked, it's -8. So the opponent, as soon as they block it one time, they can just hit you. It's literally like not... it's not even a thing to mash it. Yeah, I mentioned that. Back TC is better than ending in special moves. Because it's +3 on forward dash. Yeah, it's already safe, and if you mash it, it becomes unsafe. And like anyone who's not an idiot, I shouldn't say not an idiot because that can gimmick you your first time. But if you block and then hit any normal, you can interrupt Abigail. But he can't pound infinitely, I think. He pounds for a long time anyway. You just mash punches to pound. Don't think it matters what punch you mash. You can probably mash just one punch. Anyway, good for 1-bar combos, and technically safe, but like if you're using it for pressure, if you're using it to kind of... It looks like it'd be really good to just kind of cancel into, to like get in for free, but it won't leave you point blank, even though it's plus. Like you can't necessarily just go for pressure. And the opponent, if you're doing stuff like that, the opponent can just hold up and like on reaction and just get like a jumping combo on you. So it's not as good as it looks, but it still works a lot against a lot of people. The light one's occasionally used for juggle enders. EX one's used for high damage combos, and heavy one and medium one are occasionally used in juggles, but usually not used that much. They're used to kind of gimmick your way into pressure. I shouldn't say gimmick because it's kind of hard to react to. It's like a Hazanshu, I guess. It's like a weird, shitty Hazanshu. It's not worthless. I guess next special move. Command grab. Hey. Light one goes really far. The heavy one does good damage. That was light one. It did 180, 250. Heavy does 220, 250. So that's pretty high damage for a command grab, but the range is not so good if you're using heavy. So, you know, pick your poison. Do whatever the strongest one is that would work at that range. I'd say light's probably the best most of the time. Probably trying to grab people from outside their range. It's not great range. It's not as big as Zangief, but the damage is better, so, you know. You probably won't. Not that many things with Abigail really leave you close to the opponent. So even though it's really good, like you're not gonna really find that many places to land it. But like theoretically, if you're +3, if you get like some kind of pressure into stuff, it's quite a good mix-up option. It's very rewarding. EX is really good. EX is actually one of the most busted things in this game right now. I mean, it's not busted, but it's not super strong. But it causes a wall bounce, and the wall bounce leads to juggles. The most typical one I see is a tiny, tiny, tiny walk into Crouch Fierce into Hard Abigail Punch. Tiny walk is just for consistency if you're cornered, but I think it's not super important. No, I think you don't even need it. I think you can just always Crouch Fierce. Crouch Fierce into Hard Abigail Punch. Towards Fierce works as well, but Crouch Fierce is a lot more reliable. They do the same damage, so just Crouch Fierce. Anyway, that's 293 for 1 bar for a command grab. For a 5-frame command grab is pretty good. Or is it a 6-frame command grab? It's pretty good. It's pretty rewarding. The really, really nutty stuff is that, oh yeah, it's +24. So after a forward dash, it's like plus, what is it? Is it like +3? You literally get command grab loops. You can do like command grab dash in command grab or something like that. Something like that. If you get one command grab, you can literally just get in and do another one. Potentially. -1 after forward dash. So not free. Not a free mix-up. But there's the potential that that could happen, which is good. It's good for you because it forces the opponent to do like wake-up buttons and stuff. That being said, your normals are pretty slow, so you can't technically prevent it. However, if the opponent is cornered, oh lord. I forget the normal you whiff. Is it crouch like kick? Oh, how does it work? It's been so long. There's like some trick here to get a loop. But I don't remember what you whiff or anything like that. I don't think it's a dash, but I don't remember what it is. Back throw. Is that it? Or what? What are you talking about? What about back throw? B-Trigger EX command grab is fucking strong. You can actually do insanely high powerful combos with this. High damage. This is going to take me a lot of tries because it's quite hard to do. Back throw is +4 on tech. That wasn't it. Although that was pretty strong. It wasn't what I wanted. You can get back fierce really easily. The real key is you can get that charged back fierce, which I just got. And this opens up a fucking fat door. This opens up the fattest door in the entire game. A door that only Abigail can fit through. I should say even Abigail can fit through. Ugh, I'm so bad at this. Just prepare yourself. Okay, back throw is +3 on tech. I don't know when it starts and I don't know when it ends. So I'm like a little bit at a loss. I'll get it, don't worry. Oh, that was almost it. That was really close. What's he saying? Oh yeah. That was 1 bar. 1 bar, mid-screen, 500 damage, 800 stun off of a command grab. If you play Abigail, practice that combo. That is a good combo. That is a good combo. You have to already be in V-Trigger, though. And you need to have a decent amount of V-Trigger left. Not a whole lot, just some. Like half. Less than half, actually. It's worth mentioning right now that if the opponent is in the corner, your options get kind of shitty off of an EX command grab. Crouch Fierce is suddenly too slow, because the opponent gets to and from you really quickly. Yeah, he's saying white power. I don't know how to do moves. I think towards Fierce and back Fierce both stop working here, but I think you can suddenly do back Fierce, I think. Yeah. So if you're in the corner, I think you can do either, I don't remember, you can do the back Fierce TC, which is pretty good. And you can also do, I think, heavy Abigail Punch? No. Okay. Maybe EX? I think you just have to do back Fierce Fierce. Oh no, EX works. You shouldn't do that though. Probably back Fierce Fierce is your best one. Don't even bother with this in the corner. Just do regular ones in the corner. The regular ones have like loops and stuff. But technically back face face works. I thought that was no juggle there for a long time, but then I just tried back face face and it worked, so. That's it for command grab. You get really, really high damage combos with the EX. You get fucking high damage combos in V-trigger with EX. And then otherwise it's just pretty strong and with decent range, so it's a command grab. What do you expect? He's good. What else? I guess his run. This is actually a pretty wacky move. Alright, so 2 kicks, starts a run. He cannot cancel the run, he cannot cancel the run. That's important, this is really important. This is the key to countering the run if you're trying to beat him. There is nothing he can do to cancel this run except one of the many follow-ups. So let's talk about the follow-ups in turn. First follow-up is the punch. It's really good in juggles. Technically speaking, it cancels the super. So that's kind of nice. It's not super useful outside EX, but it's kind of hard to punish. It's only slightly. It's unsafe, but it's not so unsafe. So if you get like a spaced run punch like that, it can be kind of hard for the opponent to punish. But there's not a whole lot of mix-up involved with this, so it's not great. It's okay though. This is probably the best one to whiff if you accidentally run under the opponent or just like end up running too far or something like that and you're just going in the wrong direction. What the hell? I got a message. A bunch. You streaming? I'm not even going to respond to that. Is it like Siberian Express? Not really. Oh, you can start the run and then cancel it. There's basically no reason to do that I'm aware of. If you hold it long enough, I think he starts running on his own. It's a bit like Siberian Express because of something I'm going to mention in a minute, the command grab ender. Kick follow-up is a double overhead, and it's also, more importantly, the fact that it's a double overhead is nice, but it's also a pretty good anti-air hitbox. I didn't get it. Check, counter hit, stand light kick into super's link. That almost definitely works. I don't even need to check it. It should just work. It might not. I guess I do need to check. Anyway, this will catch a lot of people trying to jump out, and it's not horrible if they neutral jump or forward jump, but if they back jump, they might actually get hit by it. He's got a command grab ender that a lot of people try to get out of the way of, and this kick will hit people trying to get out of the way of it. So it's really unsafe, and it's like not terribly fast, but it catches people trying to escape the main thing he's gonna do, and that's important. So it's one of his better enders. I would call it like top 2 enders. He can. What else? Oh, I should say right now that for his run, he has a hit of armor for like the entire time he's running, and the second he gets hit, I shouldn't say the second he gets hit. As soon as he does a follow-up, he loses the armor. So like as soon as I hit punch, that little period where I'm swinging back, I don't have armor anymore. But the kick follow-up actually has its own little hit of armor. So even if you got hit doing the run, if you do the kick follow-up and you get hit again, you'll like armor again. It's got its own little unique hit of armor. And it's the only armored follow-up. Unless you're doing EX run. In which case I think maybe the punch is armored as well. I don't remember. Let me see here. If you do light punch, light kick, you get a grab. And the grab is probably the best follow-up. You can do really stupid shenanigan things like just canceling into run from anything. And then canceling into the grab. And that's a lot better than it looks. It's actually really hard to stop Abigail from doing run and grab. It's like a lot harder than it looks to stop Abigail from doing run and grab. As soon as he grabs, he's so invincible. So your own grab won't beat him. So like he's armored while he's running close to you, like before you can grab him. So like you can't grab the armor. And then as soon as he's close to you, his grab is unthrowable. You can jump out. It does a ton of damage. But if you jump out, you're risking that he's going to flip on you instead of grabbing you. So it's a mix-up. There are a couple good ways out of it. If you've got a fast multi-hit series of attacks, like if I was Ryu, if I did like low strong cancel to like, I don't know, EXDP or something like that, or low strong into just hard DP, I think, I could armor through the low strong, and then like EXDP would beat him from whatever he was doing. Super breaks armor, so anyone can just super on reaction to Abigail running in if you have fast motions on your fingers. If you've got something like Sim's teleport, you could teleport behind him, and then he can't do anything to catch you. Jumping forward is not a horrible response. This flip kick won't always hit people jumping forward, and this won't hit people jumping forward, and also this won't. And if he doesn't do a follow-up, or if he doesn't do one instantly, you can often just hit him. I think Kemi can EXDP. It's not so hard to. It's like it's kind of stressful when he's running in, but different characters will have different options, and holding up forward or like doing a cancel are usually okay. But even just like you'll usually be fine if you just try and defend yourself properly. It's like if you sometimes predict that he's going to grab and you jump, or if you sometimes predict he's going to do the overhead and you block high. Like you'll probably be fine for both of those. There's no reason to lib block for any of this. His only other follow-up is a parry, his V-skill. And that's kind of important for exactly, like, if you try and hit him with, like, a cancel or something like that, there's a chance he can parry it. And if he parries it, he gets a big combo on you, so, you know, don't die. Be careful. Be aware that he can do that. More importantly, the parry actually autocorrects. So if you're in a situation where you're jumping and Abigail, like, runs under you, remember, he can't cancel the run, so you should chase him in. And if he whiffs, like, a punch or something like that, you can hit him, and you can punish it. Yeah, you can grab him out of the run, but you have to be careful because he can do the run grab and beat your grab. If he does, if he runs under you and he does like kick, you can punish it if you chase it in. If he does like grab or punch, you can punish it as he chases you in. If you chase him in, but if you do a hit, if you hit him, if you like run after him and then hit him and he parries, the parry actually autocorrects. He can like if you try and like do like, you know, chase after and then like just run up stand fierce or something like that, that parry can parry your stand fierce and he'll chest bust you in the correct direction. So be careful. He can still get a little bit of trickiness. Why is his name Abigail? He's Canadian. Let me see. That's like the run in a nutshell. EX run is pretty much the same shit, but there's like 3 important differences. One is he has like 2 hits of armor while he's running. 2 is that he makes constant steps. And the steps don't combo with each other, but if you do step into punch, it does combo. And the third important difference is that the punch crumples, so you get big dick damage. And that's useful for a lot of his 1-bar stuff. Technically, I think these do more damage for 1 bar, but they can stack. Like, you can do, like, that into that. Oh. Hold on, it might be crouch fierce. Oh, maybe I have to walk in just a little bit. I think that's it. Yeah, no. I seem to recall this working. There you go. So you can get some 2-bar combos going. I missed the last hit there, but the important thing is it works. There you go. Look at that, big damage. Having 2-bar combos at all is pretty good. So, you know. What else about EX run? I think you have an extra hit of armor on the flip kick, and it's also faster if you're doing it from EX run. And the damage of the grab on EX run is fucking high. So like all the follow-ups change a little bit. Oh, I should mention right now he normally has 2 parries, but he only has 1 parry out of run. And the parry parries everything. It's like a special parry. It parries lows and highs. So his parry gets marginally better if he does it while running. Oh wait, never mind. I had it wrong. He still has both parries, and they probably work normally. Infinite armor on EX run. Wait, yeah, it's not an extra hit of armor. It's an extra hit of armor on the kickflip. It's infinite armor on the run in EX. I think that's it. So he's pretty scary when he's running at you like that. But again, all the follow-ups are unsafe, so it's not that bad. Actual serious question though. Is it why is he called Abigail? I don't know. It's because he was always called Abigail. He's a character from Final Fight, and Final Fight has the weirdest names of any video game. Where's Kimmy at tier-wise currently? Top. I'd say top. I'd say like top 5. Either top 5 or just outside. 3 hits of run in the run armor. Okay, there you go. Oh, infinite armor on the same fierce, right? He has infinite armor somewhere. Chillin'. Abigail's Oki is solid. Unless you end with an Abigail punch, in which case it's not great. It's okay. His Oki off of a command grab is okay, and his Oki off of back fierce is also extremely good. So overall, his Oki is very good. Let me see. I guess that's it for his special moves. I guess. I feel like there's some more stuff. I guess I'll talk about it when I talk about the parry, but he's got some neat stuff from the parry. If you want to see parry follow-ups, just watch my Abigail bread and butter video on Show You Can Tube. because that's pretty much got all the information. I guess I'm talking about a super, right? There's not a whole lot to say. I've already talked about literally everything. It's a combo hitter. And also it's an anti-air. And also, if you ever do it outside of one of those two scenarios, you will die. I guess you can chip out with it. It's got a giant fucking hitbox. So, it's really hard to get out of the way. And he's invincible for kind of a long time when he does it, so. Well, not a super long time. About a normal amount. Nothing to say about super, really. The only things I have to say about using super raw, I've pretty much already said. Use it to blow through armor. Use it to anti-air. Use it to end combos. So, V stuff, I guess? Oh, I didn't mention with Sim. Damn it, I didn't mention his V reversal. He's got a 100% bog standard V reversal. Okay. So we've got a low parry and a high parry, which are both pretty good. Basically, the low one parries lows and the high parry parries everything else. It works on airborne opponents, and whenever you get the parry, it's not armor, so you can't use armor breaking stuff to... Wait, this is the wrong one. Oh, but it does work on fireballs. Before I forget. Bonk. Oh. It's not the chest. The chest is a hit, but it's only a hit if you get the parry. It's the arms in front of him that's the parry window. So that's where you want to time it. You want to time it so stuff hits him while he's got the arms in front of him. And then if he parries anything... Let me get Ryu doing that poke or whatever it was. Oops. There it was. If he does anything... If the opponent... Normally the parry doesn't have a hitbox. But if the opponent hits him, the parry suddenly does have a hitbox, and the parry is actually, it does a hit, and then it leaves the opponent reeled so you can pick up a combo of some variety. But more importantly, it actually cancels. So let's say I'm an Abigail and I'm not really sure what to do. I could do something like that. I get an Abigail punch, and then I could actually do a super after that. But if I was an Abigail who knew what I was doing, I could get a run fucking punch, run EX punch, and then I can get lots and lots of big damage. Maybe no big dick damage for me. But it's walking back fierce, or just an extra whole lot of running. No big dick damage for me. Whatever, that's fine. Parry attack is not projectile immune. Yeah. So if it's like a 2-hit parry. If it's a 2-hit projectile, you're gonna get hit by the second hit of the projectile. Oh, but let me actually show that off too. Because, you know, I'm going to forget if I don't say it. That was not an EX Hadoken, was it? This is kind of dank. You guys will like this. Unless you already know about it, in which case you won't be dank. Maybe won't be dank. Back Fierce destroys a hit of projectiles. Which is kind of cool for one-hit projectiles. It's probably the best way to remove them. It also builds meter. You get a lot of meter when you... You don't get any meter if you... Let me burn my super really fast. You don't get any meter. You don't get any V meter. Let me burn this really quick. Try to get all my resources out of the way. If you parry a projectile, you don't get any V meter. If you parry a normal, you do. But if you back fierce projectile, you get a pretty good chunk of super meter. So it's pretty good to back fierce your projectiles incoming. This is like the best way he has to answer projectiles most of the time. And if it's a 2-hit projectile, you can cancel the back fierce into a parry. The parry works like a special move, so it works in like the same way in cancel windows. And you can use that to get rid of 2-hit projectiles, which is pretty dank looking. You feel like a badass when you get it. Pow! I was a little quick on the uptake. It's like instant. You want to let the projectile get nice and close to you. And technically speaking, that's harder to punish than it looks because the chest bump in that context has a hitbox. But this is how he deals with like Gal V skill stuff, for example. What else? Yeah, if it's a slow projectile, you can't. You take your life into your hands because the opponent can chase it in. If it's Akuma light. If you trigger light fireball or Gal V skill light boom, you can do that parry kind of stuff, but then there's the possibility the opponent's going to walk in after it and then hit you. So it's not good, necessarily. It's more good against that kind of errant EX fireball. You won't see it that often anyway. Oh, the hits are too spread apart. I didn't know that. Never mind, it doesn't work at all. Take it back. What else about V-Skill? Oh, it works on airborne opponents too. I feel like I should show that off. It's not only for, it's not only for grounded opponents. The follow-ups are different. Generally speaking, hard Abigail punch is your best follow-up if you get it midair. That's an okay anti-air, but there's always the possibility they're going to empty jump and throw you, or empty jump and crush counter you, or something like that. So don't do it consistently. But sneaking it in here and there can give you some B-meter. You can also do run into punch, I think. Or even, no, I think you can do run into flip, right? I think you can. There's like a setup. There's like one setup where he has run into flip. But I don't remember what it is. There's like exactly one scenario where that works. That wasn't it. Maybe run into EX flip works. Yeah, look at that. Neat. Abigail punch is much more practical. I shouldn't even say that. Abigail, not even the run punch. Abigail punch. Pa, pa, pa. That's like your bread and butter. And then you can cancel the super if you have super. That ends up doing quite a lot of damage. If you're doing the super at all, you should be, I mean, the V-skill. If you're doing the V-skill at all, you should be ready to get the follow-ups. Remember that. That's very important. 436 damage off of an anti-air. You can just do raw anti-air super, and that does almost as much, so, you know. But that's parry in a nutshell. You get the parry, you get the chest bump. After you get the chest bump, you can just do like an Abigail punch or like an EX run into something, or an EX flip into something. All of those are good. If you get, what else? Oh, what's the V trigger? Oh, it's just, okay, I remember the V trigger. The V trigger is just EX run into back fierce into V trigger. That's it. So like if you get parry, you can do parry into EX run, and then back fierce from there, and then EX from there. That's not the ender, but you know. Parry doesn't work versus supers. Okay, I lied. It is armored, and it doesn't work against supers. But EX run parry does. There's a special property whether something's a armor or like stuff like Ryu super isn't technically armor. Because it work like supers are flagged to break armor, but they won't break like Ryu super. I mean Ryu's parry. Or like Alex's V trigger is technically not armor. And this counts as technically not armor, but then this counts as technically armor. So there's some whack stuff. That's all I can think of for V-skill. There's a little bit more to it, but just look at my guide because it has all the good V-skill combos, I think. V-trigger, this is the last thing to talk about, and it's kind of complex, but I'll go over it as best I can. Basically, you get the ability to combo all his fierces, like to charge all his fierces, and every time you successfully charge one, you can just delay them. But every time you successfully charge one, it has like it increases the damage a lot. It takes a big old chunk of your meter, and some property of the move radically changes. Also, they all get armor. Hard punch gets a crumple, which is pretty useful. It does quite a lot of damage. And when it does that, like you can get big combos out of it. The really common one is the charge back fierce. Charge back fierce is probably the best one. You can get it in a lot of juggle scenarios, and if you do the TC after the charge, it pops the opponent up super high. And in any context where you can do one of those, almost, you can get two of them. And the two of them does a shit ton of damage. Like, it fucks the opponent up. So anytime you can get that, that's like the best possible thing to land. That was a meterless, like not even optimal, 432. But there's a few scenarios where you can get like big damage, and that's pretty much how they start. It's kind of hard. I'm not super good at it. A really easy way to get it is you can do one of them after any EX flip. And then anytime you get that, you can get like a light Abigail punch. Certain contexts you can get a hard Abigail punch too, but usually light always works, so just worry about that one. That does a shit ton of damage. So if you get any sort of like, you know, combo into crutch fierce to EX flip, that's the combo you want to end with, the charge back fierce. You really want to do that in any of your juggles. It works after EX flip, it works after EX command grab, it works after any crumple from like a crush counter stand fierce or a charge stand fierce, and then oh yeah, you can do back hard punch in the corner, and then do the V trigger, and then do back hard punch, and then do back hard punch. So you can get like a whole string of them, which does a lot of damage. I did hard instead of light. If you add super to those, you fuck the opponent up. Like, you really fuck the opponent up. Here's like the most... This is like not an impractical combo. This is the one I was trying to do earlier. But it's like insanely powerful and also not ridiculous to land in a real match. Hello? Baf? TC? Not so good at the timing of this. Bunko gets it like 100%. Bunko's the best. If you want someone good to watch, play Abigail. He's the one. Yay, look at this. Big damage. There's another variation that's similar. That does like 900 stun. And holy power. Holy damage. 667, it's kind of strong. And then there was that 500 damage combo from a command grab if you're in V-Trigger. Big dig damage. Anyway, what else about Abby? Combos, I guess? Is there anything else to say about... Oh yeah, I didn't even mention this. The Towards Fierce wall bounces. Literally, I'm not aware of a use for that. Like, every time you can do it, it's outclassed by Back Fierce. Because Back Fierce has like the same charge time. It's only barely slower. And the only time it matters where it's slower is like Towards Fierce. After like a sweep, you can get charged Towards Fierce. You can get level 2 Towards Fierce, but you can only get level 1 Back Fierce. And then from there, I just got it. And then from there, you can get a level 2 down Fierce. Oh, is that a thing? Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. All right, where's Ryu's fireballs? Chuck me some plasma, Ryu. Is this the EX? Did I record an EX? Oh, that was the EX. EX flip, yeah. I talked about it. That's not it. What is it? There you go. Behold. He can reflect any projectile, including super projectiles, with his Back Fierce when he's in V-Trigger. But it has to be charged. It's kind of neat, right? It's not super useful, but you can use it for some stuff. Oh yeah, and they all have infinite armor for the last 5 frames. So you can use it to beat some meaty stuff. Oh, I didn't even mention... Okay, that's like... Well, first of all, Crouch Fierce. Crouch Fierce launches, that's occasionally useful for stuff. Like, here's the really big example of where it's useful. If you get... Is Rashid's reflectable? I don't think so. I don't think Rashid's is. And I don't think Gal's super is. But, like, Dawson's super is. And so is Ryu's. In any scenario where you're getting like a crumple and you have to like dash in or something, usually Crouch Fierce into EX Flip gets kind of picky, but you can actually charge up Crouch Fierce launches really high in a very strange way, and that works even if you're getting like a crumple. So like you can get, and it adds damage, so you know, so you can get combos like that normally don't work. I shouldn't say they normally don't work, but like if on a crumpling opponent, if you did an uncharged Crouch Fierce, the EX Flip would be impossible. But if you do a charged Crouch Fierce, it becomes possible. Also, technically speaking, it adds juggle potential to the Crouch Fierce. So there's some really wacky Oro style combos you can do. I'm gonna try for one, but don't hold out for me. They're kind of hard to do. That's not a V trigger. You can do like that. You can do that like 3 times. You can do like Crouch Fierce, EX Flip, Crouch Fierce, EX Flip, Crouch Fierce, EX Flip. Wow. Hi. Those combos are weak as fuck. They're not even good to go for. It's just kind of cool that it works. Okay, so what else? You've got armor all the time you're doing them. And there's some really big thing that they do as well. Some like really nutty thing about his Fierces. There's the armor. You got the different effects. The crumple and whatnot. Oh, there's something huge I'm missing. There's something really nutty about all these. I thought of it for like a second. when I was thinking about how I hadn't shut off his crouch fierce yet. Oh yeah, the unblockables. Oh my god, how did I forget? Embarrassing. Guard break on full charge. So there's 3 different levels. There's like regular, which don't. It's just the regular normals. You can just delay them just a little bit, which is not really useful. That's like level 1. That's like if you just hit the button when you're not even in V trigger. And then level 2 is it'll take a chunk, and it'll have the added effects and extra damage. And those, that's generally the one you want. And then there's a level 3 if you fully charge it, where it guard breaks. And the guard breaks are pretty useful. And as a point, an important fact about guard breaks in this game, they automatically scale your combos to 60. So you can't really get a really strong combo out of a guard break, unfortunately. Even if you do like the big dick damage stuff, it just ends up not hurting very much. That's like a super optimal combo, and that's like not even that much at all. 214. Oh yeah, level 2 charges still have improved frame data on block. Level 2 charged in hard punch 0 on block. Pretty good. Guard break towards fierce, not useful at all because they can just duck it. Guard break stand fierce, pretty fucking good. The thing is, you get put into block stun, or what do you call that? Proximity guard. You get put into proximity guard as soon as he starts charging. So you actually can't get out of the way of these unless you jump, which is a bit like focus attacks in Street Fighter 4. But unlike that game, there's no backdashing out of these ones. So you've got to time a jump to get out of them like that. And they're like safe on block, so it's kind of scary if he's just charging a fierce in your face, especially because it's kind of hard to hit him because he has some armor by the time you react. But even charging to like full, it's not that bad. Like if he charges all the way up and then does like a follow-up punish or something, like you're not really going to take that much damage. Guard break, hard punch is pretty good because it's got good range and leads to like a pretty good, like you get good links out of that one. I think you can do like crouch fierce. I think, right? Yeah. So that's like a very common one. Guard break, stand fierce, crouch fierce, hard Abigail punch, or medium Abigail punch, I guess. I don't know. So that's pretty good. And then back fierce fierce is really good because you can get the TC afterwards. And then if you get the TC, you can do dash in, and then is it even dash in, or is it just charge another one? And then that's meaty, and that's kind of hard to get out of for a lot of characters. Waking up into an unblockable attack. It looks kind of stupid. It doesn't do that much damage, and it wastes a lot of your V meter. But like this is actually this is a lot less gimmicky than it looks. If you've got like an invincible reversal or something like that, I guess it'll probably work. I don't know. Forward hard punch in a juggle. Crouch hard punch. Level 3 unblockable setup in the corner. So like some kind of ender into crouch hard punch. I mean to forward hard punch. And then you do charge crouch hard punch. That looks good. That looked like a pretty meaty attack. So yeah, that looks like a setup. And then from that if you get charged crouch hard punch and it's unblockable, you can get that, flip into stuff. Which hurts. Pretty high damage. I mean, it would be a lot less damage if it got crushed. That's all I can think of for V-Trigger. There might be a little bit more intricacy to it, but generally speaking, back hard punch is the really high combo damage stuff. Stand fierce gives you some crumple stuff, but it's usually not confirmable. And both of those are really good as guard breaks too. And then crouch fierce cancels, so it's really good as a guard break because you can just cancel straight away. You can always charge a level 3 and then buffer EX flip. It'll always work. And then towards fierce, not such a good normal. Crouchable. Don't really do it, and it's mostly good for combos, but like the V-trigger version of it is not super notable. Well, combos, I guess I've already talked about pretty much everything. Jab jab into light or EX are all good, or super. Stand short, low short, technically highest damage light normal combo. Stand strong, back fierce, good for TCs, good for damage. Double back fierce for Oki. Single back fierce into medium or EX or super. Probably not super straight away, medium into super. Oh yeah, he gets 20% more damage on everything in V-Trigger. Power. He gets strong. His muscles get big and he gets strong. He's a strong boy. He's a very big boy. He ate his potatoes grown up. Potatoes and butter. Margarine. Uh, oh yeah, yeah. You can use forward hard punch as an A tier in V trigger and charge it like that and use the armor, and then pop them. It's okay. It's not useless, after all. What else? Combos. Combos from... Just watch my combo video, damn it. Combos from Parry is like straight away. Abigail punch or EX run into stuff using the crumple. EX run, stand strong, back fierce, fierce. Something like that. Combos from low parry, identical. Combos from anti-air parry, probably just hard Abigail punch. What else? What other combos? Confirms. Not a super confirm heavy character. You got this confirm off of that. You got the confirms off of light normals. This is safe, so you can confirm out of it, but you've got to be pretty close. You can mix up all those with command grab, or you can just kind of like, you know, poke the opponent with the occasional crouch jab, the occasional stand strong, the occasional low strong, the occasional low forward. You kind of be annoying like that. Watch for your anti-airs. You got to be real careful about watching for your anti-airs because he's not so good at jabbing anti-airs out of the air. Pow. I've like mentioned everything I know to mention. What else is there? You type BAF in all caps. Confirms off lights into V trigger. I forgot about that. I didn't even mention that. What can you get there? Is it back fierce? Is that a thing? Okay, stand light kick V trigger, stand medium punch. That's pretty good. That probably works. That probably works. I might not be getting the first frame here. You can just go medium punch straight into like a giant flip or something like that. So, you know, you got something. Crouch hard punch on counter hit, so you can get 100, you can get 600 stun from one bar with a stand light kick. So like stand light kick, crush or counter hit, and on reaction to the V trigger, the counter hit during the V trigger. Stand light kick V trigger, and if you see a counter hit, you do charge crouch fierce, I guess, and then EX flip. Or, I mean, regular crouch fierce, and then EX flip, and then charge back fierce, fierce, and then light Abigail punch. Something like that, right? I'm already in mid-trigger. Yeah, look at that. Crouch light kick, V-trigger, back fierce, fierce. Pretty neat stuff. I normally don't think to even mention those. You show off how jump medium punch can punish fireballs from infinite range. Yes, I did actually. I showed that off. His lower body disappears, hurtbox wise, and also it goes surprisingly far and gets those extended fireball hurtboxes. Send light kick, V trigger, crouch hard punch, EX flip, back hard punch, DC, light Abigail punch, 404 damage, 644 stun. That's the exact combo I thought it was. That's pretty good. I've literally run out of things to mention with Abigail. I just want to say right now that Abigail goes behind the super bar and V-trigger bar, but he goes in front of the health bars. What's up with that? Explain. I like in the distance. I mean, it's like that for every character. If like Ryu jumped, he would go in front of the health bars. You can also do stuff like max range, then like kick into V-trigger, Link super. That was too late, I think. God damn it, when's it end? Oh yeah, that's neat. I did full Sim and I did full Abigail. I think that's enough. I think I did enough this kind of business. I'm gonna go get in bed and watch Street Fighter videos on my phone. I think I've covered pretty much everything I want to talk about with Abigail. Just watch the B&B. Oops, I closed it. I hope I didn't miss anything. Oh no, I never talked about his awesome V-reversal! Fuck! His V-reversal has really, really good plus frames!